When I was in the 6th grade during the 2008-09 school year, it was still 2008. When I was a kid, I liked hip hop, R&B, and pop music, although most of my family members liked rock and heavy metal music. When I met Chris Sawyer, he used to be a rock fan. However, during the 2008-09 school year, there was a change in flavor when it came to music. One of our teachers, Mr. Lloveras, was a fan of classical rock, and he sometimes brought his guitar and sang. I soon grew an interest in rock music, especially after I received the PlayStation 2 video game Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock for Christmas. However, many of the other kids at school, including Chris, started to become interested in hip hop music. Then one day Chris told Mr. Lloveras that he read that a member of the band Korn began to believe he was Jesus or something like that. And soon he started to say that he hated rock music and we would start arguing about it. Then in 2009, May 2009, they took us to Oasis Lanes, a bowling alley, and we got into teams. The other kids were going to the kiosk to play music, and I announced my intentions of playing Metallica or Linkin Park. But Chris started arguing with me and told the other kids not to let me use the kiosk if I was gonna play rock music. Then when we were bowling, I asked Chris why he hated rock, and he told me that it was because one of the members of the band Korn thought he was Jesus. When I asked which one, he described him as having a beard. This explanation remained a mystery until now. Right now, June 9, 2026 at 5:15 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, I got reminded of this and I looked it up, and it turned out that, first of all, the band member's name was Brian Head Welch. Secondly, this happened in 2005, 3 to 4 years before Chris told Mr. Lloveras, and not recently as he claimed. And lastly, he didn't claim he was Jesus. It says here that he found Jesus and converted to Christianity and quit the band because of it. I don't know why Chris misinterpreted this, but I'll let it go because of the fact that we were kids at the time and we didn't know better, and because this happened a long time ago. One thing I forgot to mention about that day when we were at Oasis and we were playing music from the kiosk, Chris Sawyer, Gustavo Garcia, Noah Hernandez, and some girls were playing hip hop music such as Eazy-E's Easy Does It. And a girl from another class said that she was gonna play Soulja Boy's Crank That, and I had requested to play Linkin Park's Given Up. When Crank That played, it was actually a remix and it sounded weird. Then when Given Up played, it sounded loud with Chester Bennington screaming. I was sitting by myself as everyone else went to another place called the Dust Devil, and everyone at the bowling alley was just looking at me and I got really embarrassed. Speaking about the Dust Devil, if I thought what I did was embarrassing, something even more embarrassing happened, but luckily not anymore to me. The Dust Devil at Oasis was a spinning ride, similar to those in amusement parks where you sit on a seat on the ground, and as the ride starts, it lifts off the ground where it starts spinning, first in slow motion and then faster and faster. Since I was still in the bowling alley listening to Given Up, I didn't see what happened until I went to where everyone was at. A worker was mopping the floor that had something on the floor. At first I thought someone had spilled a drink, but it turned out that two kids, Hector Gomez and I forgot who the other one was, threw up while on the ride, and since it happened while the ride was spinning, the vomit on the floor was in circles. The vomit wasn't the focal point, but the way it smelled. A kid in my class, Jesus Rodriguez, commented that the way Hector's vomit smelled was intense. I didn't dare talk about it considering the fact that one, I wasn't there, and two, but also because a similar situation happened to me a week to a month before when they took us to Western Playland. When we were going back to school and we went in, I bumped into Manny Rosales' mom, who was a volunteer at the school, and I said something like, I wish I had $3 so I could hear the song 3 more times. The kiosk charged $1 to play a song and I wanted to listen to Giving Up Again. She laughed.